I needed a smaller waist. I corseted myself. I pulled belts so tight around my waist they'd break. I learned to sleep with my normally 28-inch waist pulled into 23 inches of divinity. I walked tall. I never let my back touch the chair. I ate with grace, always maintaining control in the beautiful dance that became dining. I drank enough tea to drown a grown man. I stopped speaking. Beauty is silent. Beauty comes with a smile of support in public. In private, it's a different matter. The man is the head of the family, he says. The woman is the neck. She silently supports him, but she can work him in any direction she chooses. It is this power that comes in the gift of woman. Of course, he left me never to open a door for myself again, only to get slammed in the face when the person in front of me shuts it. He left me endlessly serving guests, endlessly serving men, which was all fine and dandy, until one man demanded it. There was a difference between a woman openly giving herself to a man because it is her own will, and a man making it a requirement. I wore dresses to please him, and one day he wouldn't pay attention to me if I didn't. It's an old manipulative tactic, like training a dog or a horse. Give it attention and love when it does what you want, and eventually it will learn to always do that. So I wore dresses. I was flawless. I spent hours exfoliating, plucking, and moisturizing. I continued corseting myself because maybe if my waist was small enough, he'd make love to me. Making love, of course, wasn't all that great for me, but it was attention, even if only for brief periods of time. So I went on loving, living the beauty of that one-sided relationship. I gave myself to him, and I received nothing in return but neglect and the occasional, "Oh, how cute you two look." Of course we looked cute. We looked cute. It was from him that I learned the art of faking it. We looked like the perfect couple until it ended. It got to a point where I spent more hours in his bed than out of it. I became an hourglass fuck doll, a plastic creation of a young man's lust for looking good. When we reached the beginning of the end of things, one day last spring it became a visit. I saw him for a brief moment, and I pined away in secret for him for half a year before I got the opportunity to share the 5 most beautiful months of my life. My best friend, my lover, my spiritual partner. My journey with him is never ending. He blurs the lines between touch and distance, between romance and friendship and anger. It's all part of a rare journey. A he and a she, a he and a me. In an overly subjective and distinctly fragile dance that is beyond even our own comprehension. As a woman, I still love him. I trust him. And I care for him, all with my own free will. He allowed me to see the beauty within myself better. He allowed me to see the goddess within my raw and spiritual nature. The specifics of our story are almost irrelevant. They are mystic moments of a positive connection, stunning mystery, and a living life. We're at a point of distance, and I look forward to our friendship in the future. But even as the waves continue changing our shoreline, it keeps its majestic beauty. Now, I spent 4 years with him, so I don't understand why he didn't make it into the first round, or the second, or the third, or any of the million edits I've made up until this point, where I realized why I'm still here, why I've dedicated my life to this whacked out art form, and why I can sit here, sit still, and be vulnerable for the first time in my life. When everyone knew I was a cracked out whore through the terror and the trauma, he allowed me to rise as a human being and as an artist. He gave me roles and jobs he never should have from the time I was a lisping 13-year-old spouting Shakespearean shit all over the amphitheater, to allowing me at 17 to lock a group of young actors in a room while they all ran around screaming and one eventually hid himself in the fireplace while I locked the rest in the closet. He might not have known about that, but the point is, he was the first man to ever tell me that I was worth a damn. and then a minute later tell me to shut the hell up because I didn't know what I was talking about. He was the first man to ever hold me honestly responsible for my action. And he was the first man to ever tell me that he was proud of me. He's absolutely insane. And I'm entirely ridiculous, and it works. I guess I'm just being. What I mean to say, and I don't really know what a father should be like, but for what I do know, he's the closest thing to a father that I have ever had. I know who I am. I am the manifestation of the idea of a perfect woman that has been created by the men in my life. And I owe them my thanks. To my late father, David Earl Coyman, who taught me to have strength while pushing through hell, and how to appreciate and use my intelligence. Hey, Dad, I pledge my intelligence to the environment and to the people of the world, to the United States Constitution and the spirit of fairness for which it stands, one planet among others, spinning in space, indivisible, creating liberty and justice for all. To the man who was once my master, who taught me the meaning of fear and the power of forgiveness. To my grandfather, Theodore Snellman, who taught me that the rose is not a frail flower. It has the power of the thorn mixed perfectly with the grace of the petal. My anonymous ex. The last man who will ever have this much control over me. To Charles Ginsberg, who with I discovered love, true beauty, and a fascinating journey that will surely only come once in my life. And finally, to Mr. Howard Shanghai, who taught me that through all the pain and the torture of my life, there will always be room for a little laughter.